Good morning to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Today's editorial is all about supercomputers, an important editorial because it goes with science and technology. Besides the editorial analysis, today you're going to work on to spot the errors, jumble, words and meanings. Let us start the session with editorial vocabulary. A few important words are there. The very first word, procure. Procure usually goes with companies, procurement. Procure is a verb, procurement, noun. What does it mean? To get something, especially after an effort, need not be procure something to get something. But here they have given to get something, especially after an effort. That's an important word. Predecessors, we have got a few times. Part of speech noun, someone who had a job or a position before someone else. The present president, the one before, we use a term predecessor. You can also say obtain. Good. Sophisticated has got two or three meanings. In this context, part of speech adjective, intelligent or made in a complicated way, and therefore able to do complicated tasks. Sophisticated machine, sophisticated gadget. In this context, it means intelligent or made in a complicated way, and therefore able to do complicated tasks naturally. But generally, it goes with people, persons. A sophisticated person means civilized, cultured, urbane, refined. You have to think of those words. That meaning is entirely different. Fortnightly, part of speech adjective, it goes with publications happening every 2 weeks. Fortnightly magazine. Premise, part of speech verb, and here it is used as adjective, past participle form. To base a theory, argument on an idea, thought, or belief without any evidence, you base your idea on something that is known as your premise, an important word. I'm sure you all know the word simulate. Stimulate is different, simulate is different. Simulate, stimulate, both are verbs. Simulate, part of speech verb, to do or make something that looks real but is not real. This goes with training. They simulate a particular environment. It looks real but it is not real. Buzzword. This is again, it is a buzzword. Part of speech noun. What does it mean? A word or expression from a particular subject area that has become fashionable by being used a lot, especially in the media. A particular word is being used quite often. We call that particular word a buzzword. Flux, an important word, part of speech noun. Continuous change. Something keeps on changing, then we say it is in a flux. Medallion, an important word, a metal disc that is worn for decoration on a chain or string around the neck. That is a literal meaning. It means something like you try to show it, you keep it, you try to show it, and as a source of decoration, does not serve any purpose. Prowess, an important word we have got for the first time, I suppose, and part of speech noun, great ability or skill. Prowess, an important word. Intractable, another important word, part of speech adjective, very difficult or impossible to control, manage, or solve. Here, intractable, very difficult or impossible to control, manage, or solve. Behemoths, an important word. We got it once or twice. Something that is extremely large and often extremely powerful. Here you have to recollect the word mammoth, huge, but here a slightly different connotation. Extremely large and often extremely powerful. Here, a breakthrough, part of speech noun, an important discovery or event that helps to improve a situation or provide an answer to a problem. Generally, breakthrough, important discovery or event. There's a common error, and it is surprising. I see in today's editorial, breakthrough means an important discovery. We cannot, common error, redundancy, important breakthrough, major breakthrough, significant breakthrough. Those words are redundant expressions. Before breakthrough, we should not use words like significant, important, major, but it has been used that way. Content has two or three meanings. You all know one meaning content, contents, if you take a book or a publication. But here, a different meaning altogether. There it is a noun, here it is an adjective. Pleased with your situation and not hoping for change or improvement. Content with whatever you have means what? Happy with whatever you have and you don't want to go beyond. In a way, it is not a good thing. Epithets, an important word we have got for the first time, an adjective added to a person's name or a phrase used instead of it, usually to criticize or praise them. It is an adjective used added to a person's name. It is like a tag, either to criticize or praise that person. Not too many words, but a few words are important. Faster, stronger. Obviously, this is all about supercomputers. They have to be fast and strong. So the two words, faster, stronger. On India and its supercomputer use. What is this editorial about? Acquiring supercomputers from France. But what is the main idea of this editorial? India must use its supercomputers beyond weather forecasts. Right now, they are going to acquire supercomputers from France. Based on that, this editorial has been written, and editorial has taken a stand. What is that stand? India must use. Here we have got this many a time. Must has got two functions. It is a helping verb. It is used to express a personal obligation, an obligation imposed by the speaker. Here it means the same thing. Second one, it is used to convey the idea that something is compulsory. But here India must use. That is a stand taken by the editorial. India must use its supercomputers. They are going to acquire the supercomputers for the sake of weather forecasts. Based on that, the editorial says India must use its supercomputers beyond weather forecasts. They have to use for other things as well. Later this year, I think they're going to acquire. Later this year, India will have a new supercomputer. Will have a new supercomputer that goes into future. Later this year, this phrase you have to remember. India will have what will have refers to future, refers to position. Will have a new supercomputer, or more correctly, an upgraded high performance computing HPC system. We can say supercomputer, but to be more precise, high performance computing system, HPC system, that will arguably be its fastest. It is going to be India's fastest computer. This system is to be made. This is something very important. You have to listen carefully. I'll make a simple sentence. She is to write a letter. They are to do the work. So, what is this pattern? She is to do. They are to work. This is a pattern that goes with the basic form or infinitive. To write, to do. And here it is in passive voice. To be made. Is to be made. It refers to a condition where someone is supposed to do something based on some agreement. She is to write a letter. Based on some agreement, she is supposed to write a letter. They are to do the work. Based on some understanding, agreement, they are supposed to do that work. The work is to be done by them when you change it to passive voice. Here it is in passive voice. This system is to be made and installed by the French corporation, Atos, an information technology service and consulting company. They are getting from France. The Narendra Modi government signed a deal in December 2018. Here there's specific time that goes into past. Based on that, the verb in past. But here I would like to spend a few minutes. There are two words you have to know how to use. One is sign, the other is signature. Sign can be a verb, a noun, an adjective. Please sign here. I have used as a verb. What is that sign used as a noun? I cannot understand sign language used as an adjective. Common error, a lot of people say, please sign in the register. You should not use a preposition in. please sign the register. They also say, please put your signature here. That syntax is not correct. For that, you have to say, please sign here. And signature is only a noun. The subtle difference you have to know. Here it has been used as a verb in the past form because the time goes into past. The Narendra Modi government signed a deal in December 2018 with France to obtain, to get high performance computers worth 4,500 crore by 2025. By 2025, we are going to get. These HPC systems will run future tense at two institutions. One, the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune, and the National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting, Noida, that currently host, these two places currently host two of India's most powerful such machines, Mihir and Pratyush. Besides these, they're going to get new ones like their predecessor, one who worked earlier before the present one, incumbent person. Here it refers to, in this context, Mihir and Pratyush. Like their predecessors, Mihir and Pratyush, the Atos machines will be used primarily to run sophisticated weather models. In this context, a different combination altogether. If you take the word sophisticated, the word sophisticated usually goes with persons. A sophisticated man, a sophisticated woman means what? Highly refined, polished, civilized, urbane. But in this context, it means intelligent or made in a complicated way and therefore able to do complicated tasks. That meaning goes with this context. Sophisticated weather models that for some years now are being used to prepare a range of forecasts from long-term monsoon to fortnightly as well as daily weather changes. In the past, they would talk about the entire season. Now we see the bulletins, the forecast, one fortnightly and long-term as well as daily weather changes. To a great extent, they have improved. Extremely powerful machines are needed for this purpose, as accurate forecasts are premised on being able to simulate the state of the atmosphere and oceans. Why do we need powerful machines? We need to make accurate forecasts. That is very important. Based on that, the states will be prepared for any eventuality. Extremely powerful machines are needed for this purpose, as accurate means correct and precise forecasts are premised on being able to simulate, premised an important word, to base a theory, argument on an idea, thought, or belief without evidence. That also you have to remember. On being able to simulate, another important word, to do or make something that looks real but it is not real. Supercomputers is a buzzword. Supercomputers is a buzzword. Buzzword, a word that is in the limelight. A lot of people use that word. The media uses quite often. Then we call that word a buzzword. Supercomputers is a buzzword and term is a term that is in constant flux. Flux means always changing, continuous change in a dynamic state. Supercomputers, the word itself is a buzzword and a term that is in constant flux, keeps changing. To substantiate that statement, supercomputers of 2 decades ago, decade I'm sure you all know 10 years, supercomputers of 2 decades ago are today's student laptops and gaming consoles. Initially, supercomputers, now they have come down to the level of student laptops and gaming consoles. They're always changing in a constant flux. While many challenging research questions, apart from weather modeling, are extremely dependent on computing, when it comes to computing, there are many challenging research questions. In addition to, apart from weather modeling, are extremely dependent on computing. What are those other challenging research questions? Protein biology, aerospace modeling applications, and now artificial intelligence linked applications. All these depend on computing. The position of HPCs is also used as a medallion by countries wanting to signify their technological prowess. There are two words over here. One, medallion, a metal disc that is worn for decoration on a chain or string around the neck. It is like a great possession by countries wanting to signify their technological prowess. Prowess means great ability or skill. There are some countries they want to have their technological prowess. For that, obviously, they need to have supercomputers. The Top 500 project has for over 2 decades maintained a list of the top 500 most powerful HPC machines, and this is updated twice a year, with countries prominently advertising the presence of their systems if they make it to the list. Imagine there is a country and there are top 500 projects, and here we have top 500 most powerful HPC machines. If a country has a machine that belongs to that list, then it can take a lot of pride. The top 500 project has for over 2 decades maintained, this is a project, and this project maintained something. What has it maintained? A list of the top 500 most powerful HPC machines. And this is updated twice a year. They keep updating. How many times? What is the frequency? Twice a year. With countries prominently advertising the presence of their systems if they make it to the list. If a particular country makes it to the list, they try to advertise, they try to show it. Obviously, it shows their technological prowess. Currently, a machine housed at Pune's Center for Development of Advanced Computing (CDAC) is the only Indian machine in the top 100. When it comes to our country, currently, right now, a machine housed at Pune Center for Development of Advanced Computing (CDAC) is the only Indian machine in the top 100 with a top speed of 13 petaflops. All these are technical terms, but the editorial provides the information what exactly the word petaflops, what does it mean? Floating point operations per second, flops, floating, floating, FL they have taken, operations per second, flops, are an indicator of computer processing abilities, and one petaflop is a 1000 trillion flops. All this is technical information. To be installed, French machines are expected to be 18 petaflops, that is on the higher side. And India already has a handful of machines at multiple research institutions in the petaflop range. We have at a few places, but this is going to be the highest with 18 petaflops. The position of powerful supercomputers is certainly a reassurance that Indian scientists wanting to solve intractable problems can always tap these behemoths, but whether the use of these machines has translated into significant breakthroughs in fundamental science or engineering commercial products is another matter. A very lengthy sentence from here to here. Whenever you come across a lengthy sentence, one reading you may not understand for two reasons. One, it is a lengthy sentence, you have to read meticulously. Second, you may come across some words or meanings of which you may not know. In this lengthy sentence, we have three important words. Let us see the meanings first. Intractable, very difficult or impossible to control, manage, or solve. Behemoth, an important word. Something that is extremely large and often extremely powerful. Only large we use word mammoth we have got recently, but extremely large and extremely powerful. And the third word, breakthrough. The reason for smiling, there is a redundant expression here. Breakthrough means what? An important discovery. Significant means important. Important discovery, that doesn't make any sense. Before breakthrough, we should not use words like significant, major, important. This is not breakthrough itself means the same. Look at the meaning of breakthrough, an important discovery. Then we cannot say significant, important discovery. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But coming to the sentence, what does it mean? The position, today we have supercomputers, is certainly a reassurance, some sort of confidence that Indian scientists wanting to solve impractical problems can always tap these behemoths. Indian scientists want to solve difficult problems. When they have the position of supercomputers, they can always tap these supercomputers to solve those problems. But whether the use of these machines has translated into breakthroughs, that is a question. Whether the use of these machines has translated into breakthroughs in two areas, fundamental science or engineering, commercial products, is another matter, is another question. How does the editorial end? Much like India has improved its short-term weather forecast, India has improved its short-term weather forecast a lot and made cyclone forecast more accurate beyond any doubt. On the back of such machines, based on such machines, there should be greater accounting of their worth in other fields. Beyond any doubt, they are being used well in the field of when it comes to weather forecast. But the editorial says there should be greater accounting of their worth in other fields. They should be used in other fields rather than be content with epithets of speed and power, rather than an important expression I use quite often. Be content means be happy with epithets, adjectives added to before a person's name or a phrase used to describe someone of speed and power. When we talk about computers, how does a editorial start? It refers to speed and power. And we cannot stop there. These epithets, when we talk about supercomputers, speed and they are very fast and powerful. But we have to go beyond. We should not be content with that. We should not stop there. We should not be happy with that. We have to see their worth in other fields. Then it makes some sense. That's all about today's editorial. Let us go to questions based on this editorial, comprehension skill point of view. The very first question, what is this editorial about? High performance computing HPC system that will arguably be fastest is to be made and installed by whom? Easy to answer. Where will HPC systems run? Where will they run? Place. What is in constant flux in the context of the editorial? Keywords, constant flux. You should locate, write the answer. Which is the only Indian machine in the top 100 with a top speed of 13 petaflops? Keywords easy to answer. Let us go to practice questions based on exam topics. First 5 questions are based on error location. Today, not that difficult. You should get all the 5 correct. In our experience, people usually value things that they have to pay off more than those that they receive free of cost. That is human nature. Anything free we don't respect. We have to shell out money we respect. That is a fallacy that goes with human thinking. Where is the error? No one has responded. In our experience, people usually value things that they have to pay off more than those that they receive free of cost. Please, Avinash, write complete sentences. I appreciate your response, but write complete sentences that will help in the long run. That is the purpose, objective behind bringing these questions. Go to question number 1. What is the right word? No, Govardhan, that is not right. Pay off. No. Only one student, Ajay, no, not correct. Rather than, nothing wrong. Where is this rather than in this question? Here, in our experience, nothing wrong. People usually value things, usually present tense, people, plural, value things, no problem. That they have to pay off is not correct. That they have to pay for. You have to pay for something. They value things that they have to pay for more than those that they receive free of cost. Have you got it? There is an error in the third part. They have to pay for more than those they receive free of cost. There is an error, not pay off, it should be pay for. You have to pay for something based on appropriate preposition. At present, that country is the world's leader manufacturer of environment-friendly products such as electric cars and bicycles. That is a different meaning altogether. Oh, Prithvi Raja, you are here. I think you have already got a few jobs. Hard work always pays off. Please respond to my question. Your name sounds familiar. Somewhere I feel you have already got one or two bank jobs. Same student or a different student? At present, nothing wrong. That country is the world's leader manufacturer, not correct. Leading manufacturer. Leading manufacturer of environment-friendly products such as electric cars and bicycles. Leading. This question is based on word forms. Remember bank exams, RRB clerk preparing for RRB PO in AP. Oh, all the best, pleasant surprise. And remember your name. Word forms are very important. Here, right word, wrong form. Leader, not correct. We have to use leading manufacturer. Manufacturer, noun. And leading in this context, adjective. Fine, thank you. Thank you very much. Please go to question number 3. A recycling plant close proximity to the residential area can pose serious threats to residents leaving behind persistent pollutants. A recycling plant close proximity to the residential area can pose serious threats to residents. There should have been a comma. Leaving behind persistent pollutants. Where is the error? Which one is redundancy? Tripatrao, question number 3. Where? You have to be specific. No, nothing wrong with plant. A recycling plant, nothing wrong. There is an error in the first part, but what is it? Ajay, you are right, but what is wrong with the first part? You have to be specific. A recycling plant. No, a recycling plant. They are talking about some recycling plant. You don't have to use a definite article the. That is one thing. Close proximity. Redundancy. Oh, that's what you meant, redundancy, Tripatrao. But it is a standard phrase. Generally, there is one preposition we use here. What is that? A recycling plant in. We have to use a preposition in. In close proximity. But here proximity means being close to something. In proximity. We have to use a preposition in. And proximity means being close to someone or something. We cannot say close proximity. That is redundancy. The Union Health Minister said that there was an acute shortage of health personnel in rural areas who needed to be addressed urgently. That is over. Please go to question number 4. The Union Health Minister said that there was an acute shortage of health personnel in rural areas who needed to be addressed urgently. Good. Ajay, Anusha, within no time. Here, the Union Health Minister said that whenever you see the reporting verb said, you have to think of indirect speech. and you have to think of tenses going back, one step going back. There is an acute shortage, actual statement, present changes to past, nothing wrong. There was an acute shortage of health personnel. This is a phrase. In rural areas, this is also a phrase. Don't consider the phrases. Here we have a clause. This clause is related to shortage, acute shortage. Then we don't use who. We have to use the relative pronoun which needed to be addressed urgently. Very good, wonderful. You guys got it right. A lot of students. All Indians know that they are superior in all respects, not only to those unfortunately being called foreigners, but also to all other Indians. Yes, you have to recollect something that is personal, belongs to you, personnel, employees of an organization. And personnel can take a singular verb, can take a plural verb. Do remember that. All Indians know that they are superior. The moment you come across the word superior, you have to become alert and recollect one rule. What is that rule? Comparative adjectives like anterior, posterior, senior, junior, superior, inferior, preferable, prior, elder, and the verb prefer take the preposition to. Nothing wrong. And after that, based on the sentence, you have to check not only but also. Both you have. Not only to those, not only to, but also to. Parallel expression, nothing wrong. Where is the error? Here, all Indians know that they are superior in all respects, not only to those, unfortunately, you cannot use the adverbial form here. Unfortunate beings called foreigners. Unfortunate, we have to use adjective form, not adverbial form. What is this question about word forms again? Yes, it is good if you write immediately, type immediately, you will be able to remember. An easy one. This is from a previous year paper, recent, a para jumble. There are how many parts? 6 parts. Try to look at the parts carefully. Try to get it right. Para jumble, not that easy. Try to take elimination approach. The train cannot be the first one. The ability cannot be the first one based on the definite article the. We have the history, hold that one. Hold this one. Part of the line cannot be the first one. The first rail line, hold this one also. It, a pronoun cannot be the first one. So what is the first one here? E is not the first one. No, no. E is not the first one. Some students have got it right. C is the first one. The history, we start with the history. The history of rail transport in Serbia began in the mid 19th century when most of the territory was still held by the Austro-Hungarian Ottoman empires. C is the first one. After that, it becomes easy, 2 and 3. After C, obviously, the first rail line, here it talks about rail transport. Based on that, the first rail line on the present-day territory of Serbia was inaugurated on 20th August 1854 between these places. E is the second one. Third one is easy, based on the first rail line. Part of the line, part of the line. The line, which line? The first rail line. Easy to get the third one. CED. First rail line, then comes the train. No, 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 no. Listen to me. Here it talks about the first rail line. And after that, it is about part of the line. Which line? The first rail line. D is the third one. And one more thing, when we talk about rail transport, it is about rail transport, the history. First rail line, then comes a train. If the line is there, then only we can talk about the train. And the fourth one is obviously train. The train initially operated on horse-drawn traffic. The trains should have been initially operated on horse-drawn traffic, uh, were later replaced in 1856 by steam locomotives. A is the fourth one. Then you have to get fifth and sixth. Easy. How can you say? Here it is the ability and it continued. Pronoun. First noun, then pronoun. Based on that, B, F. The ability of Serbian railways, noun, it continued. Serbian railways in place of noun, pronoun. So BF. What is the correct order? C, E, D, A, B, F. If you have got this right, you should be very happy. I haven't given enough time under pressure, live session. Getting something like this, the correct order, highly appreciable. I really appreciate all those students. Let us go to the words you got yesterday based on Civil Services 2022 results. Margins, marginalized people getting success, or people on the margins getting success. So, in this context, margins means what? Obviously, part of speech noun. No one has responded. One E, perfect. Be among the least important groups or not being part of the mainstream. Being part of least important group, downtrodden people, underprivileged people, backward communities, marginalized people. You have to recollect all these words. In descriptive English, if you use words like underprivileged, downtrodden, backward, you will get more marks. Spectacular achievement, part of speech adjective. One meaning goes with something that is very nice to look at, spectacular display. But based on the editorial, based on the context, what is it? Very impressive. Three girls in a row getting the top three ranks, spectacular achievement. J is the answer. Pinnacle, they have reached the pinnacle. The topper has reached the pinnacle. Noun. What does it mean? The most successful part of an achievement, the peak. Answer is D. Good. Drain, drainage, different. But here, I have been drained. The exam is draining. Part of speech adjective. What does it mean? Making you feel very tired or exhausted. Drain is a verb, draining exam, adjective. As such, it is a verb beyond any doubt. And it can be a noun. Persevere, an important word, verb. Perseverance, noun form. What does it mean? An important word, and it goes with you guys. You have to persevere. To continue making an effort against all odds, against hardships. You keep trying. Then we use the word perseverance. Pinnacle, zenith, apex, yes. Culmination. No, you have to use effective words and lexical terms. Lexical terms means words that go with a particular topic. Imagine you're writing about social development and you're writing about government schemes. When you're writing about government schemes, obviously you have to use words like who are these schemes for? Underprivileged, downtrodden, backward, marginalized communities. They look for those words. Those words are known as power words. And these power words are nothing but lexical terms that go with the particular topic and effective English. Simple words not a big deal, but it doesn't mean that you have to use technical words. Don't use technical words, but use appropriate words. Empathetic, part of speech adjective. Having the ability to imagine from the other person's point of view, putting yourself in the shoes of the other person. G is the answer. Have you answered sixth one? Patriarchal. This comes from pater. Pater means father. Matter, mother. Patriarchal, controlled or ruled by men. Matriarchal, controlled or ruled by women. Trailblazers. Trailblazers, singular. Obviously, it has to be noun. The first person to do something and make others feel they can also do similar thing. Are drained, fatigued, tired, exhausted. B is the answer. Prejudice, simple word, bias, but here unfair and unreasonable opinion towards someone or something, usually people. H, adverse situation, adverse condition, adverse report, adverse publicity. It has to be adjective. What are you left with? Having a negative effect. Negative. If you have got all the 10 correct, you should be happy. That's all for today. Thanks for being with me till the fag end of the session. Have a nice day. Do remember to subscribe and share. I will see you guys in the evening, 7:30 sharp. Today also we have grammar practice. I'll try to get new